Hey, what's up? This is Adam, and this video is going to lack a lot of the pomp and production value that my other videos lack because it's just you all. I thought this might be easier than trying to get you all together for a meeting real fast because I wanted you to be able to have the instructions that you needed to collect the data so that you can set about doing that right away. One thing that I should explain is that apparently I'm intimidating and coercive, and the IRB said that I am not allowed to collect data in my own class, and so that is why you guys get to do the thing. So I'm going to walk you through like what to talk about when you're collecting the consent form, and what to stress and what to go over and how all this works. Okay. So basically, there's no magic bullet to this. You just got to explain stuff and be straight with them, right? I think the students appreciate it when you're straight with them. And so either at the outset of class or at the end of class in your lab, your discretion based on how much time you're using. I think at the end would be better because then you don't run the risk of not having some kids speak, but also if you think that you're running right up till time, it might be good just to do it at the beginning and then have them, finish bubbling stuff in while one of the kids is talking. So, okay, so the way that this works, no magic bullet. Again, you just need to walk through and explain it. What I would do is staple the consent form to the PRCA 24 so that it's all together. And then go over it. And so if they don't sign the consent form, we can't use their thing. And that's the thing they've stressed to them. But so you pass it out and you say, all right, we're doing some research. And then you sort of walk through the different things. Okay. And I would just tell them that we're doing research because speaking apprehension is a real thing that, people get nervous to talk. And we want to know if being in the course reduces that apprehension over time. And then also if it does, which factors, related to the course make the biggest difference in reducing that apprehension. And so you'll, tell them that, tell them that we hope that they'll participate, etc. In terms of the procedures, so how does it work? They'll take two questionnaires. One's a pre-test and a post-test, and the other is a different instrument. So you'll do the pre-test now, and the post-test at the end of the, week 16. And then that's the measure of apprehension, and we're checking to see if it changes. And then the other one is which factors they thought helped ease their apprehension, if any. Okay. And if you get a little smart ass that's well, why are you doing this now instead of, early on in the semester? Well, you can tell them the truth that Adam only thought of this in week 4, and sometimes that's how science works. If they're well, what happens, blah, 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 as if they want to be a smart ass and say, doesn't that skew your data? You can tell them, you can throw out some fancy statistical lingo and tell them that, well, we're going to run a chi-square test of independence, of students who have already presented versus students who have not. And if there's no difference, then we're going to leave the data in. And if there is a difference, then we're going to throw out the people that have already presented. So there you have it. So there's no known risks. Unless paper cuts, possibly, stabbing yourself with a pencil, whatever. There's really no benefits either. You get a warm feeling from having helped out. But it is important. Some of them really do appreciate the fact that they're helping us to improve the course. And then also the thing that you want to add is it's not just us improving this course, but also this is a thing that we'll share at research conferences, and other people that have similar courses like this may use it. So here's the one where you want to actually take a moment and explain, because this is, a concern for them. And so our study is confidential, but not anonymous. Okay. And so what that means, the reason that it's not anonymous is because we have to match the pre-test to the post-test in order to measure change. And in order to do that, we have to have some identifying information. So student ID or a name, right? We could, assign an ID, but they'd forget it, and we'd end up with a really low response rate. So in that way, it's not anonymous, but it is confidential in that we will collect the information. Only the researchers will see it. As soon as we collect it and Tanner types it into the system, he'll change their names to an alphanumeric code, and we'll keep a key in a separate place. And then whenever we report the data, we're never going to be Bob from Lab B was super nervous to present, but then his score went down. It'll be much more presented in aggregate, right? So the average student apprehension in the course was 3.5, and at the end of the semester, it went down to 3.2, blah, blah, blah. So nobody can be identified. Yeah, so that's all there is to that. The next one is compensation. That's another one that you want to spend a little bit of time on. And so, we don't pay them, but they do get some extra credit. And then the way that it works is if they complete both, both of the questionnaires and the pre and the post test of the one, then they get 10 bonus points. So it's effectively like getting a free day out of lab, right? If they have a day that they missed in lab above their 3 freebies, then they get an extra one. And if they came to school every day, then they just, one of the 10 out of 10s will just make 20 out of 10 and they'll get bonus points for that participation thing. You do need to stress that if they do not want to participate, they still have the option to get extra credit because it's an IRB thing. You can't be exclusive like that. So the assignment will be on Canvas that they can do for bonus points, and it's basically write a letter to a future student with advice taking this course, right? So not a hard thing to do. Technically they could probably do both and we'd never know. So just let them know that if they don't want to, that's an option, but it's probably just easier to take the things. They're free to withdraw at any point in time. Say they get traumatized like midway through their presentation, or not their presentation, but their survey, then they can just put it down and be like, I don't want to do this. They don't get their points, but whatever. Their responsibility is just to take the thing and be an informed participant, and then get them to sign. And I would tell them to sign and also write their name so that we can tell. So again, staple this one to this one, and then only print this first page, right? And you may want to walk them through and say, this is the personal report of communication apprehension. It measures how nervous you may be to talk in a couple different scenarios, and then all you got to do is circle the one. So I just like participating in group discussions. Strongly agree, right? Because I don't like to talk to people. So only that page. You don't have to print the second page. And then, that's it. I would just, carry a little folder with you so it looks official, put them in the folder, seal it up or whatever, and then give it to Tanner. And then he will type it in because it's his project. Woo! I guess that's it. And then so do that as soon as you can for all of your labs, turn them in, and then week 15 or 16 we'll come back and do the follow-up post-test and the other instrument. So thanks